Thank you very much. Thank you to be here, and thank you for the organizers to invite me. And it's a pleasure to give this talk in honor of Richard Melrose. So the topics is mainly the dynamical systems of Anosov geodesic flow. So geodesic flow on negative curvature manifold, and to show some phenomena in the study and in the behavior of the geodesic flow. And these behaviors, these phenomena, will be related to the wave equation on the manifold. So I would like to explain this. And this is a joint work with Masato Tsuji in Kyushu. So first, I just recall the definition of what is hyperbolic dynamics, what is called Anosov dynamics. So suppose you have a closed smooth manifold M. So this is the manifold. And on this manifold, you have a non-vanishing smooth vector field, X. So, and this vector field, when you integrate the vector field, you get a flow which is denoted by phi t at time t, which is a smooth map on the manifold. So that point is sent to that point at time t. And we will suppose in this talk that the flow is Anosov or uniformly hyperbolic. It means that at every point of the manifold, there is a uniform splitting of the tangent space with one direction, one dimensional in the direction of the vector field, and transversally two directions. One direction is called the stable direction in blue here, and it means that uniformly the derivative, the differential of the flow contracts on that direction. So the trajectories contract in the future in the stable direction. And in the transverse direction, unstable direction in red, it contracts in the past. So it is unstable in the future. And so this hypothesis corresponds to, in physics, what is called sensitivity to initial conditions. It means that every trajectory is very unstable. I'm sorry that the picture is small, so if you want to follow the slides by yourself, you can obtain on my webpage these slides. Okay, if you want to see the next slides or previous slides also, it may be useful. And so this hypothesis somehow is a local hypothesis on the dynamics, and it creates what is called deterministic chaos because the motion is determined by the initial point. But if you observe it, you observe confusion, chaos behavior, unpredictable behavior. And in this talk, we will be concerned with a very specific example of Anosov dynamics, which is the geodesic flow on a closed Riemannian manifold in green with negative curvature. So this manifold is in green, N. And so here it is on the hyperbolic surface with some identification conditions on the boundary. And I will denote the dimension of N to be d plus 1. So here it's a surface, d equal 1. The dimension is 2. And the geodesic flow takes place in the cotangent space. It is defined as follows. On the cotangent space T star of N, you have a canonical one form which is called the Liouville one form. And you consider with the metric the unit cosphere Mundell or the unit cotangent vectors in the cotangent space. And we will denote this by M, which is the manifold of dimension 2d plus 1. And on this unit cotangent space, the vector field X is defined as follows. This is a Hamilton equation, in fact. So the derivative of the one form, which is a symplectic form, is so X belongs to the kernel of dA. And also x is normalized by the one form. And so this is equivalent to the Hamilton equation. It defines the geodesic flow. And what appears is that, so the Anosov showed that if the manifold in green n has negative curvature, then the geodesic flow is Anosov. So it's hyperbolic. So it has at every point, so this is, you see this picture here, you have the surface and the directions. And so here, this is the cosphere bundle. So the sphere is represented as a vertical fiber here. And at every point, the tangent space splits into the direction of the vector field and transverse unstable and stable directions. And this example is very special because the sum of stable and unstable direction, in fact, is equal to the kernel of the Liouville one form. So it is a smooth. And because derivative of one form is symplectic, this distribution, stable plus unstable, is a maximally non-integrable distribution. Yes? And so it will be very important for the phenomena I would like to explain. In general, this is very important also, is that these stable and unstable directions, in fact, are quite complicated objects. They are fractal objects. They are not smooth. They are Hölder continuous with respect to the point M. This is because they are defined by a long-time behavior in the future or in the past. And there is a more special example, which is interesting, coming from group theory. You consider a hyperbolic surface quotiented by a co-compact subgroup of SL2R. And then on SL2R quotiented by gamma, you have a well-defined Anosov flow, which is the geodesic flow. And I will use this example as a special case. But it is very special because it's equivariant. So in this case, stable and unstable directions are smooth, of course. And so now I would like to show you some picture and movie, just to show phenomena I would like to emphasize. So to show you movies, maybe remark that when you have a geodesic flow on a surface here with negative curvature, you see here the curvature is 0, it's flat, and here you have negative curvature on some domain with size epsilon. When epsilon goes to 0, the geodesic trajectories converge locally to trajectories on a billiard with convex boundary, so in a dispersive billiard. So this Sinai billiard or dispersive billiard can be seen as a boundary extreme case of geodesic flow and of Anosov geodesic flow. And so on this movie, here, this is on YouTube. So I made it and put on YouTube. You see, this is a yes, it will do this soon. So this is a trajectory which follows the geodesic flow on the billiard, and with periodic boundary conditions. And you see, you observe that it seems unpredictable, okay? But maybe you know already. And this is the same trajectory on the cover, on the plane R2. And you see that the trajectory is unpredictable and seems to follow a random walk. And so it has a statistical property that can be proved. And it can be proved that it has the same statistical properties as a random walk. And so it seems a difficult problem to say something about the trajectories. And in fact, the problem is that we follow a single particle. So or we follow the evolution of Dirac measure. And so it is unpredictable. And the idea of Ruel is, and in fact it's physical, is because an individual particle is not physical, because if you perturb a little bit, it will do something else. So a single trajectory has no much meaning, perhaps. It's maybe more meaningful to look at evolution of smooth distributions. And so to push forward functions, smooth functions by the flow. And let's observe what happens. So on this movie, I put a smooth functions here, okay? The support is 10 minus 5. It's very small, okay? So you can consider as some uncertainty on the initial position of particles. In fact, there are a billion of particles, okay, that do not interact together. And let us look at the evolution. And so I use colors because this is the manifold, but in fact the geodesic flow takes place in the cosphere. So I use colors to indicate the directions in the sphere bundle. And so after each bounce, there is some dispersion. Okay, so the cloud is here. And you can follow also here on the cover. And you see here, just after a few reflections, it takes separate behavior. Okay? And what you see is the projection of the unstable manifold on the base. And here you see it diffuse. And if you make some histogram, it behaves like a Gaussian distribution, which grows like square root of t of time. So it's a diffusive behavior on the right. And here, what you see is after some time, you lose all the information. Yes, it converges to what is called equilibrium. Of course, it's reversible. If you take all the particles and you reverse time, it comes back. But for our eyes, it's irreversible, okay? And so what appears is that looking at evolution of smooth distributions, we observe irreversible but predictable behavior. And so it's what we would like to describe. Of course, the first observation is equilibrium, convergence to a constant, okay, equilibrium. But we would like to observe the fluctuations around this constant also. And so describes the corrections to this. So the correction, we will see what are the fluctuations, but it's not very clear on the movie. And so we can, the idea of David Ruel in the 70s is to consider the action of a flow on a good distribution space, for example, smooth functions, and to find a good description of a behavior, maybe a discrete spectrum of an operator, effective operator. And it's what I would like to explain. So it's quite simple to describe mathematically the evolution of push forward of functions. Just you look at the action of the flow on smooth functions. So it's just the composition with phi minus t to consider the push forward evolution of function. So the operator at time t is exponential of minus t, the vector field x. And it is a group of operators acting on smooth functions. And so the idea is that at time 0, if you start from a smooth function here, this is the gray domain, it evolves, pushed forward by the flow, and because the flow is Anosov, it spreads like this in the unstable direction. And if you wait a long time, it will behave like in the movie. The function will spread, and because the manifold is compact, the support will round around the manifold. And so after a very long time, it will be smooth in the unstable directions, smooth in the flow direction because it's neutral, but the stable direction contracts, and so you expect some very strong irregularity in the stable direction. Yes. And here you have all the information because if you come back to here. But to observe the effective behavior, you have to look at this behavior with a test function. So with a test function, in the sense of a distribution, maybe you will see another result. So what is important to consider is the evolution action of the flow on smooth function tested by another smooth functions. And of course, it's natural not to consider only smooth functions, but transport of any sections of bundle on the manifold. So you can consider a vector bundle F over the manifold. And you suppose, for example, if it is a tensor bundle, you have a Lie derivative, which generates the evolution, the push forward or push back of tensor fields. And more generally, if you have any vector bundle F, and you suppose that your vector field X on the manifold is left to a derivative on the space of smooth sections. And the only requirement, of course, is the Leibniz condition. And then with this, you can consider the group of operators that transport the space of smooth sections. And you can ask the same question to describe this evolution in the sense of distribution. Okay, and it's what I would like to explain. So the question, the hope of Ruel, is that maybe the generator, so the Lie derivative, if you want, minus x because it's a push forward, has some discrete spectrum in some adequate Hilbert space of functions. So suppose it's true. I would like to explain what is the meaning of a discrete spectrum. It's very easy. Okay, suppose, for example, minus x is not a complicated operator, but it is a matrix, finite rank operator. So you can decompose this matrix into its spectral decomposition. And for example, you suppose it has simple eigenvalues, complex eigenvalues, z, g, with real part a, g, and imaginary part omega g. And associate eigenprojectors, pg. Then, if you consider the exponential minus t of this matrix xf, it is, of course, it has the same spectral decomposition with the same spectral projectors. And here the eigenvalue is exponential t ag. Ag is real, so this term is, if ag, for example, is negative, this is a decaying term. If ag is positive, it's a growing term. And the imaginary part, of course, gives some oscillations. And sorry, it's very obvious what I say, but it's important to understand the picture after. So for long time, positive time, what will emerge, of course, is the leading eigenvalue if there is one. Okay, if there is an eigenvalue which has a big real part, A0, bigger than others, then it will emerge. It's the phenomena of equilibrium, what we saw. And if there are many leading eigenvalues, they will dominate the emerging behavior. Okay, so this is this idea of Ruel is to find this leading set of eigenvalues and corresponding spectral space and corresponding operator. So now the question is how to find this space and this discrete spectrum. The first remark is for the geodesic vector field, okay, X is the geodesic vector field, in space L2 of M, it is a skew symmetric because it preserves the volume. And so it has continuous spectrum on the imaginary axis, no discrete spectrum. Okay, so L2 of M is not adequate space for us. We need to change the norm. not to take the L2 norm, although it is natural. And so to find a better norm, we will use micro-local analysis because it's natural, because hyperbolic dynamics sends objects in high frequency. And in high frequency, this is the world where micro-local analysis gives some interesting explanations. And so we will use an approach similar to Combs with dilatation methods to find resonances, Elfer-Shostrand with escape functions, and to find resonances as eigenvalues for quantum scattering problems. And Richard Melrose also in the study of scattering and radial estimates. So this is the same ideas. And from Ruel, Bowen in the 70s up to now, many people have contributed to improve this approach. So Polycott, Rugg, Blanc, Keller, Liverani, Guezel, Baladi, Tsuji, Butterley, Roy, Shostrand, Datchev, Datlov, Zworsky, Guillermo. And more recently, they succeed to apply to different dynamics. Dangrivière for Morse-May flow, Bontonneau, Weich, they can consider cusp. And Guillermo, Hilgert, Kuster, Weich, they can consider symmetric space of higher rank, for example. Okay, so I would like to now to explain how to find this good space, to find the discrete spectrum for the geodesic flow. So the phenomena is not very difficult. Recall that by definition on the manifold, the dynamics is hyperbolic. So every point, the tangent space splits into stable and unstable directions with a neutral direction. And so we consider the dual decomposition in cotangent space. So in cotangent space, of course, we have the orthogonal of stable plus unstable, which I denote E naught star. And this is one-dimensional, okay, space. This space, dual space, in fact, contains covectors, cotangent vectors, for whose the kernel is here. So they have no oscillations in unstable and stable directions. And so also you have a stable star and unstable star directions. And so any cotangent vector you can decompose with components, xu, xs, and a component omega in the neutral direction. And remark that by duality, the components xu and xs are hyperbolic. So xs is the dual of es. So es was a stable direction. So here it's unstable direction. And here xu is a stable direction. So here you have some hyperbolic dynamics, except if you are on the green set, which is E0 star. And so E0 star, in the cotangent bundle, it's what is called the trap set, because trajectories on it do not escape to infinity. Every other point escape to infinity with hyperbolic motion. And this trap set is a rank 1 bundle over the manifold, and it is just generate span by the Liouville one form, which is in fact the only invariant one form by the Anosov flow. And this trap set is a sub-manifold of the cotangent space, and it is a symplectic submanifold, okay? Because A is the Liouville one form. Okay, so this is the same picture. So be aware that we consider the cotangent space of M, and M is already the cotangent space of the Riemannian manifold. Okay. And now we would like to construct the escape function of the weight. Okay, the new weight. So we do as follows. So any cotangent vector, of course, the cotangent space is non-compact due to xi variables. So we have to do something when xi is large. So for covector xi, with components xu and xs, and neutral component omega, which is the frequency. We take some parameter, h, which is very small, which is similar to the h constant in semi-classical analysis, and we take a parameter m, which is large, which is the order, and we just consider the following function, the weight w of xi, which is the unstable components times h0 power m divided by xs h0 power m. So it's obvious that this function is a Lyapunov function because xu, you see, xu decrease with time and xs increase with time. So this function decrease with time. And so it decrease with exponential rate except on the trap set. And so this is a function on cotangent space. So you can consider it as a symbol and quantize it to obtain a pseudo-differential operator. And by definition, the Sobolev space will be the image of L2 by op of inverse of W. And this is naturally the good solution because if you take initial wave packet in cotangent space, okay, and you consider the evolution in this space, first you have to divide by the weight W. So you divide by Wxi, then you propagate, the propagation is unitary, and then you multiply, because you come back, you multiply by W at Ct, okay? And so the result is very small. So in this space, in fact, the propagation operator has very small norm everywhere except on the trap set. And on the trap set, at some fixed frequency, the trap set is compact. So you expect to obtain a discrete spectrum of a generator in this space. Yes, this is the usual argument. And remark something also, is that this is the same construction as usually in Sobolev space. But here we have anisotropic order, if you want. And so here, because it's here, it imposes some smoothness along the unstable direction. And here, because we divide by xi power m, we accept irregularities along the stable components. And this is exactly what we observe on this picture. You see? Because the eigenfunction that we will have, of course, they will have this behavior. And so this is the theorem I would like to present and to discuss after. So obtained by Masato Tsuji, in series of work. And now this is ongoing work. I will present the proof. We have so in the previous paper we gave some proof, quite technical, and now I would like to present some geometrical meaning of the proof and on the theorem. So this is the theorem says that if you consider Anosov geodesic flow on a manifold and a vector bundle f over it, and xf is a generator, a Lie derivative, if you want, on this space of sections of f, then in the Sobolev space that we have defined previously, the generator generates a strongly continuous group. So it's the propagator is bounded and it's invertible, and its spectrum is this picture. It has some discrete spectrum here, which is intrinsic. Intrinsic means it does not depend on the Sobolev space. And it has essential spectrum in this vertical band, but this vertical band is on the left of minus lambda m. So when the order m becomes large, it moves on the left. It moves on the left, if you want, as a theater curtain, okay? Because in L2 space, it was here, and you see no resonances. And when you make m positive, you move, and you see the real resonances, see, which are intrinsic. It's possible also to do m negative. If you do m negative, you push on the right, and you see real resonances for the past dynamics. And so this existence of real resonances are obtained in previous work by people I said. And with Masato Tsuji, we observed that these real resonances are structures in some vertical bands. And these vertical bands are between numbers, so band B0, B1, B2, etc. Between numbers, gamma k, plus minus, I will give the formula later. And in each band, between the bands, if the bands do not overlap, we have some gaps with uniform banded resolvent. And in the bands, we have a Weyl, a precise Weyl, which is related to the volume of the manifold. So, before explaining what is the phenomena, what is the proof of this, I would like to say that Simon Dyatlov observed a similar structure in bands for resonances in a model related to waves around a black hole. Also, this structure of bands of resonances can be observed in a more simple model than Anosov flow, which is suspension of Anosov diffeomorphism. But not any this suspension. You have to take a suspension for which you have this symplectic structure. So this is what is called pre-quantum quantization, or U1 symplectic extension of Anosov diffeomorphism. Okay, and another quite simple model I would like to show you is very well known. This is just the geodesic flow on hyperbolic surface. So suppose you consider SL2 group coefficiented by a gamma, a co-compact subgroup, and so you have a geodesic flow generated by the matrix X on it, okay, the hyperbolic flow. And the real spectrum is as follows. It's quite easy to compute. If I have time, I will show you the computation at the end. The real spectrum for minus x plus 1/2, okay, is eigenvalues on the imaginary axis and shift by integers on the left. And on each line, you observe I square root of mu minus 1/2 minus 1/4, and the mu is eigenvalue of the Laplacian on the hyperbolic surface. So the real spectrum is a repetition. It was known, but this picture somehow is can be seen as a special case of this picture where the bands contract to vertical lines. And so before also giving an explanation of the phenomena, I would like to maybe to discuss the meaning or maybe it's interpretation of this spectrum. So recall that, for example, I show you this picture. This is the real spectrum for the geodesic flow on hyperbolic surface. Okay? Then you see these real eigenvalues dominate for a long time because they are the most they are on the right part of the picture, okay? And so this one will give some very fast decaying contribution to correlation functions. So it means that if you consider correlation functions, so the picture, the movie I show you, then for a long time, what should appear is fluctuations that are governed by this spectrum. And this spectrum is the spectrum of square root of the Laplacian. So this is the wave operator. So it means that in the fluctuations, you should observe, if it's possible to see, some fluctuations governed by the wave equation. And maybe it's, of course, here it's quite simple to see, but it's maybe not obvious first time to think this. So I repeat, in a geodesic flow, when you evolve a smooth function, by push forward the function, it converges to equilibrium, but if you subtract the equilibrium, which is this space, and you subtract a finitely many space which dominate, then what you will see is fluctuations around the equilibrium governed by the wave equation. And this is somehow true also for non-constant curvature manifold. If you have a first band here in green. Okay, so this is what I would like to say in this equation. This is a classical correlation functions, but for a long time, up to some exponentially decaying term, which corresponds to the inner resonances. The dominant term is controlled by the operator restrict to the first band. And you can define this because you have a gap, so you can extract the space and the operator. And so you have somehow, this is an interpretation, okay, this is not mathematical, but emergence of an effective wave dynamics or quantum dynamics, and with quantization, because you have discrete spectrum. And also with Masato Tsuji in a previous work for more simple model, which is the Anosov diffeomorphism, we show that this operator is exactly a quantization with respect to the axiom of quantization. And what is interesting in this case, it's that we have exact Egorov theorem because it's a transport operator. And we have exact trace formula because it's a transport operator. So maybe it's we would like to call this a natural quantization. Okay, maybe now I would like to explain the proof, the mechanism at least. So first, on a very basic model, okay, I would like to discuss the real resonances. So you take the manifold, which is R, and on R, you take the vector field, which is x d over dx. And so this is the dynamics, okay? 0 is a fixed point, and x goes to exponential tx after time t. So you have some expanding dynamics on the real line. And you think, it's important for after, you can think as an unstable direction, this line. And because we will do micro-local analysis, it's expanding in x, but in a xi, conjugate variable, it's contracting. So in phase space, cotangent of R or cotangent of unstable, you have some hyperbolic trajectories. Again, we remark that in L2 of R, this is not very interesting because in L2 of R, this vector field minus 1/2 is skew symmetric. Okay, and this 1/2 also will be important after. So the spectrum in L2 of R is a imaginary axis shift by 1/2, and you see no discrete spectrum. But if we do as before, x is an unstable direction, so we consider a weight function in phase space, which is x times some parameter h naught power m, divided by xi, which is contracting, times h0 power m with a big order m. Then we define the Sobolev space, which is a kind of anisotropic space in x and xi, as the image of L2 of R by op quantization of W inverse. And we observe some discrete spectrum, but this discrete spectrum is very obvious because if you take the vector field and you apply to x power k, you observe that it is an eigenfunction with eigenvalue minus k. So eigenvalue are 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus k. Okay? And the eigen projector, so the image is x power k, and the kernel is related to the derivative of Dirac distribution. But in this space, this eigenprojector is bounded operator, thanks to this two weight. And what happens in this space, it's quite easy computation, is that when m, the order, goes to infinity, the essential spectrum goes to the left. And you see these resonances. And notice something, just for after, is that these monomials, x power k, are the eigenfunctions, and they span Taylor expansion at the origin. So they span the jet, okay, the Taylor expansion. And in this case, okay, the jet, of course, in general, on a vector space, is the sum of symmetric tensor of order k. So now I would like to explain the general case and to give the estimate on the position of the bands in the general theorem. So maybe I recall the general theorem. Just okay. This is this theorem. I come back to Anosov geodesic flow on a manifold, and which acts on sections on any bundle, and to show that the real spectrum has these bands. And I would like to explain what are these bands. So, as we have seen, in cotangent space, outside the trap set, so the trap set is just the Liouville one form, okay, spanned by the Liouville one form, which is invariant. And outside, the norm decays very fast. So outside, it concerns the essential spectrum, which is very far. Okay, so to do the micro-local analysis, we just need to do the micro-local analysis in the vicinity of the span of the Liouville one form, and which is a symplectic submanifold of a cotangent space. And because it's symplectic, it has an orthogonal symplectic. Okay, and this orthogonal symplectic is preserved by the flow. And this orthogonal symplectic has hyperbolic dynamics, so some unstable direction, some stable direction, and because it's symplectic, it can be identified as T star of EU, naturally. So we have somehow direct sum, which is preserved, the trap set, and the transversal, okay? And maybe I just explained that the trap set will give the discrete spectrum in one band, and transversally it will give the different bands, as we saw in the simple model. And this is somehow the spectrum, somehow micro-locally is a product of two spectrum, somehow. This is the idea. And so to do this, recently with Masato, we use geometric quantization of vector bundle, and we show, using this approach, which is very useful for us, because the problem technically is that stable and unstable directions are Hölder continuous. So we found it's useful to use Toeplitz quantization that accept some irregular symbols. And it's also geometric. And so we show that the operator that we want to study is very well approximated, so in the sense of pseudo-differential operator, by a quantization, geometric quantization of a symbol. And this symbol, x sim, okay, this is a geometric quantization. It means that x sim is a vector field acting on, so it's a Lie derivative on some bundle, and P is a kind of Toeplitz projector. And what is this bundle? The base is the trap set, okay? So this is the manifold with a line bundle. What are frequencies? And the vector bundle, the fibers, is this. So it seems complicated, but it's quite obvious. The fibers are F, because you start from a vector bundle, so it's here. But it is twisted by the jet of so the Taylor polynomials on the transverse unstable direction, okay? But now we expect this. It was explained here, okay? But also it is twisted by half density of a stable direction, and maybe the reason of this is because on the trap set, so it's maybe artificial or not, but it is necessary to obtain unitarity on the trap set. And this 1/2 somehow is related in this simple model to this 1/2 here. And so a theorem shows that the operator we want to study is well approximated, at least the dominant part of the spectrum, by this pseudo-differential operator acting on this space sections of a bundle of a trap set. And now, we, as usual, to study the spectrum, we just consider the symbol. So the symbol is a vector field, and so but it is a symbol values in endomorphism, okay? Because it's a symbol values in endomorphism in a vector bundle. So we just consider the propagator. It's a vector field, so the propagator is just simple. It transports fibers to fiber. It's a bundle map. And we don't need any more Sobolev space. We can, because we work in the vicinity of the trap set, we can work in L2 space. And in L2 space, if you consider this, so the propagator adjoint composed with the propagator, okay, it propagates a fiber at point M to another one, and it comes back. So this operator is preserve every fiber, and in the fiber, it's just a positive, because it's a self-adjoint positive operator, is a positive self-adjoint endomorphism, okay? And it preserves every degrees of polynomials, so you can split the study. And for each k, each degrees of polynomials, we just observe the norm, the maximal singular value and the minimal singular value of this operator. Okay, so the norm, and for long time t. So first we take the maximum over the manifold because it's just it corresponds to the well-known fact that when you have a symbol, okay, and you quantize, then the spectrum is contained in the image of a symbol. Okay, so this is the same idea, but for endomorphism value symbol. And so we just split the endomorphism in eigenspace. This is the same idea. And so at the end, we just have to look the different image for different degrees of monomials. Okay, and it gives gamma k plus and gamma k minus. And so it's very easy to show that in L2, this symbol has some spectrum, in fact, continuous spectrum, contained in vertical bands. The same vertical bands as I show here, these gray vertical bands, okay? And when you quantize, the discrete spectrum is contained inside. Okay, so another way to say this is that in this very simple model, okay, here you have constant, which corresponds to some expanding, but on the negative, variable negative dynamics, the expansion depends on the point, and so this point fluctuates, and it gives the bands, if you want. Okay, and now, just to discuss, so it was the idea of the proof, and maybe I will stop with this slide. So we have seen that the bands comes with a study of this bundle. So F times symmetric tensors times half bundle. And there is a good idea, F is arbitrary, but there is a good idea is to take F that cancels this half bundle. Because if you take now, suppose F cancels this half bundle, so for F, you take the half density of an unstable direction. And because unstable directions are dual to stable, okay, this is somehow the inverse of ES 1/2. And so it cancels with this. And for k equals 0, this is constant. So then this effective bundle is a trivial bundle. And so the first band contracts to the imaginary axis. And you have a strictly positive spectral gap on the left. So for the theorem, what you obtain is if you consider as a special case the half density on the unstable directions, then the real polycode spectrum of the generator has eigenvalues that accumulates on this imaginary axis. And somehow it's in analogy with what you observe in constant curvature. And so now the work we would like to continue is to describe this spectrum and the operator restrict here and to show that it's similar in some sense to a square root of Laplacian in a non-constant curvature. Okay, so thank you for your attention.